Welcome to Striving Artist. I'm your host, Arlene. I'm so excited to be chatting with a good friend of mine. He actually produced my first LP. He is the president founder of Music Mentor Productions. I have Peter Linseman as our guest.
Thank you, Arlene.
My pleasure.
So good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes.
This is where all the magic happened for Everything Begins with Love, so it was really cool experience.
Incredible album, and I had an equally great experience with you.
Thank you. Okay, so for our viewers, could you tell us about what you do with Music Mentor Productions and the organizations that you're involved with?
Sure. Yeah, Music Mentor Productions is an independent record label and CCMA nominated and CMAO nominated Producer of the Year, and many of our artists have gone on to win a lot of various awards, and we basically do everything that an independent record label would do, everything: videos, marketing, airplay tracking, producing, writing, all of the various functions, and then kind of spinning off into a lot of other different charities and non-for-profit organizations. One of the first ones was the first songwriting and music business course in Toronto.
Oh, cool.
And maybe in Canada as well. There was just nothing, and trying to find, when I was a young writer, trying to find a place to, hone my skills and work my craft and all that, and there was nothing, so created that, and was teaching that at the continuing education programs at the Toronto District School Board for many years, and then started the first Toronto Regional Writers Group for the Songwriters Association of Canada as well. That was about 8 years ago. Got involved with the CMAO, the Country Music Association of Ontario, became a founding director for that. Worked there for about 5 years as a director on the board, and we have the SIPO Foundation, incredible youth-oriented charity, registered charity that helps to integrate youth into the workforce and make them become leaders in their fields. And we've got Building Bands Canada was a few years I put in to that, and that's a great charity as well that helped, I guess, underprivileged kids and get them instruments and teach them their craft and perform concerts with them and all that. So that was great. And Hometown Music Council is now another big focus. I became the president of Hometown Music Council kind of out of necessity to as directors dropped off, it wasn't looking very good, like it would continue. So took the reins, and now we have a big focus on Hometown Music Council again. And we did do an incredible project called the Flag of Canada project, and that was the Heritage Canada funded project, and we got a $130,000 grant, and we went across Canada, coast to coast, and we broke 2 world records. The most voices singing O Canada, 28,275, and then also the first national singing of the anthem, coast to coast, as well. So that was great adventure.
That must have been incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. So when do you sleep? How do you juggle all of this?
That's a great question, and there's definitely some sayings or mantras that have come out of thinking about that, and one is I say all the time is that there's time enough for everything. Mm-hmm. There's time enough for everything. I just keep repeating myself, and then generally though it is doing what you love, and living in the moment, and all of those sayings and cliches are what take it away. It takes it away from a negative, I'm overwhelmed and juggling, to just having fun and juggling and trying to keep that place. If you're living in the moment, as you know, it's just not a fearful place or a negative place. It's always a positive place. So that, you know, there's nothing interrupting your flow in your work.
Nice.
And there is time for everything.
Yeah, that's a great lesson. I think a lot of us, especially because we're so fast-paced in this world of like all the videos we see on Facebook, and I mean, like I go into a rabbit hole just watching all these quick videos that I forget to be in the moment and then I stress out. So that's a great lesson.
Thank you. Yes. Well, that's good. It sounds like you know it.
So you wear many hats for different organizations. A lot of independent artists out there, they're doing a lot of their own thing as well. Do you have any tips on time management for them?
Yes, I would first of all talk about the career planning aspect of it. And as you and I know, we've gone through the process with applying for factor funding. And the reason that is so good for independent artists is that you have to plan a couple of years in advance of your career. So, of course, having a roadmap per se, even if it's loose, is a great opportunity to get possible funding for your music production and marketing, and also it, of course, makes you create a marketing plan that's a couple of years down the road. And then prioritizing, of course, making lists. I do a lot of that kind of work, and then I find that as you know, I do so many different things that it becomes very overwhelming. And I think for artists and songwriters, singer-songwriters, and anyone in the entertainment industry, there's just so much to do and what to do next. So I do once again have another mantra. What's the next most important thing that I have to do? The next most important thing I have to do. So that becomes the top of my priority list. So another one that's another good saying is when you're overwhelmed is that, you know, you're prioritizing your lists, your career planning. You have a roadmap, and you walk as far as you can, and from there you can see further. So whenever you're, again, don't know what to do or feel as though it's overwhelming, you know, I always say that, you know, walk as far as you can down your road. You got your goals in sight, and then from there you can see further.
Okay, cool. So you had really, really cool mantras. The first one was, there's enough time for everything. And then, what's the most important thing I have to do next? That's something I'm going to use.
Yeah.
Definitely. I take a lot of naps. But they're important. They're important.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that the striving artists out there took those mantras, and I'm definitely going to use it. But we are going to come back, and Peter's going to show us a little bit about what he does in the studio, and make sure you guys stay tuned.